All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic because today I want to take you through a little video on XYZY and PYPY. This is a little appreciation video for the Yieldmax ETFs, these two right here. And I wish I was you. I wish I was watching this video because this is how excited I am to produce this for you guys. I want to take you through the recent uptrend in XYZ or XYZY, whichever one you like to follow. I follow the Yieldmax ETF as well as the underlying. And as well, we're going to look at PYPL and PYPY, which is the Yieldmax ETF for PayPal. The reason we're looking at them is because certain markers over the past 6 months, we've seen PayPal trend from roughly about PayPal, the underlying stock, trend from about $56 to about $76, an increase of about 30%. And then we see as well Block trading from a low of about $44 up to now about $70, almost a 70% return, something like 75% return. So they're both doing pretty well. We're going to talk a little bit about why investors are now looking to buy in. I also want to show you guys where exactly I bought these companies at and how my buys stack up to their current share prices. So I think this is going to be a really fun video. It's so nice to see our Yieldmax ETFs appreciating up. And these are two ETFs which I've been buying almost from the beginning, and so it's very exciting to see hopefully the plans start to unfold and we can see more appreciation and some bigger dividends in these two ETFs. So if that does sound good, we're up to 8,378 subscribers, 158 subscribers in the past 28 months. Thank you very much for joining our page, and as well, if you want to further support our channel, you could click the link down below. That'll lead you to our honorable investing shop right here, or you could check out the YouTube video link on how to use our goal tracker template. All that is in the description below. All right, let's get into this video nonetheless. So XYZY, they both pay, and PYPY, they both pay pretty good dividends. PYPY looking at 33%. XYZY going to take a hit because if we go to the recent Yieldmax announcements, you can see XYZY is sitting at a 61% dividend with this 87-cent previous dividend, but it is now dropped to, if we could see here, it is now dropped to XYZY. I know it's here somewhere. There we go, right here, 43 cents, roughly 44 cents. So all in all, this was actually disappointing news on XYZY. And I honestly thought the dividend would be a lot higher just due to the recent appreciation. Over the past month, 12% in the underlying, and in the Yieldmax ETF, we've seen 1%. Obviously, it's due to a pretty big fall, which happened at the start. But nonetheless, still, I love the trajectory of the stock. And this is the real main reason for this video. XYZY and the underlying stock, Block, as well as PYPY and PayPal, they both kind of follow a similar trend. And they're both in similar niches. PayPal is, of course, in transactions, but Block is also in transactions. It's kind of different because PayPal you can view as kind of the more long-term and stable holding, whereas you're taking a little bit more risk with Block, but it's still a fantastic business model, and where they both, especially Block, where they kind of make money off of transactions and their customer basis of tapping, kind of like what Visa does. But nonetheless, I just want to say there's great news for both. And both these stocks, I've been buying them as they've been down and as people have been discounting them and lowering their average share prices. And so it's really been hard for me to hold on and stick with these companies. But I do think now is a great time to see those finally appreciate as we see price targets being raised for Block, that is, as investors and analysts are more confident within the underlying business, which leads to lower interest rates in terms of Block's ability to borrow money, which I think is fantastic. And then in PayPal, they are expecting an earnings per share of about $1.29, which is an 8.4 increase year over year. And for a long-term kind of company like PayPal, where growth is not necessarily at the forefront, it's more so sustaining the business and then looking for profitability, 8.4% increase is a fantastic marker to hit. So there's definitely potential for both of these underlying stocks. They are in fantastic positions in both cash and in my opinion financially with their income and their generation. So I am not looking to necessarily sell these ETFs or stocks anytime soon, based solely off of their fundamentals. I think both their fundamentals are fantastic, and I do think it's only a matter of time before maybe they not appreciate back to what we've seen in 2021, because that's when we really seen the peak for these companies. That's when everything kind of went to online payments, and Block and PayPal, they really stood out and they really prospered. But I do think we can totally get back to levels such as $200 in PayPal. I think this should be a $150 billion company. And then you have Block as well, where I do think they could reach potentially about $170 price company, which is roughly about a $100 billion company. So that's my bullish thesis on these two ETFs. Now, where did I buy them? Well, XYZY I bought earlier in the year. I bought 117 shares at $10.68. We still have not reached that price point back yet, but you have to understand we've been paid out couple dividends, so about $1.50 in terms of dividends through that time period. And that's right before actually Block had this massive share price drop here from about $10.68 all the way down to, it was really about $8.70. And Block, we could see that as well if we go to here. May 1st was that big drop down from roughly $60 all the way down to $42. It was a 20% drop that day, but we unfortunately invested just before that, and then we picked up 175 more shares, reaffirming our confidence within XYZY at $8.77, and that $8.77 has paid us dividends, and we're up almost 15 to 20% on that position alone. That was a great buy. Then we also have PYPY. Bought it at $12.72. PYPY currently trading at $12.91, so we're up a little bit on this position, and at the same time have received some dividends, 2 dividends, which have equated to roughly about $1 in terms of dividend income. So both of these have been fantastic buys. I bought heavy and on margin when the market was down. As you can see, I was about $13,000 in margin debt, but now I'm actually sitting in the positive as I paid off all of my debt, and we are now good in our portfolio. And the last thing I want to show you guys is our portfolio balance. With it being at 70,000, we roughly started this portfolio a year ago, July 4th. So it hasn't quite been a year yet, but we have accumulated $70,000 in our portfolio. I don't know too many YouTubers who have started small and in 1 year have turned an account from $0 to $70,000. Of course, this took a lot of dedication and work outside of YouTube, where I poured in money, so much money, just to be able to grow and push these stocks. I looked for the best buys I could. I'm only up about 7%, so we got a lot of room to grow, but $0 to $70,000 in 1 year. I'm so excited to go forward and see what we can push for. And of course, I'm going to document everything on this channel. So make sure you guys stick around if you guys want to see that. Thank you very much for sticking around with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Little appreciation video for Yieldmax. And I really hope you guys stick around. I hope to see you guys in the next video.